A hospital is filled with people looking for cures. Yet there's a doctor at Massachusetts General focused on how we die, because we all do. Medical technology can delay death, but for how long and at what cost? Is length of life the same as quality of life? How do we balance hope with the reality of disease? As a palliative care doctor, Vicki Jackson asks these questions every day, but her work is misunderstood by patients, fellow doctors, and by politicians and the pop culture the most.
The rumor that's been circulating a lot lately is this idea that somehow the House of Representatives voted for death panels that will basically pull the plug on grandma.
This is going to lead to government-imposed euthanasia.
Is spending $1 million on that last 3 months of life for that patient, would it be better not to lay off those 10 teachers and to make that trade-off in medical costs? But that's called the death panel, and you're not supposed to have that discussion.
Bob Cooley of Naples, Florida. You're diabetic and suffer from sleep apnea. Let's see what America voted, Bob. You will be spared.
This isn't about death panels. This isn't about pulling the plug on grandma. It's about helping people do as well as they can with a serious illness. God, I wish they didn't have the serious illness, but if they have it, boy, let's help them do as well as they can. And that's what I hope people think about when they hear the word palliative care.
Hey there. How are you feeling today?
Dr. Jackson is talking to David Cameron about his stomach cancer, which has become terminal. David only has a few months to live.
I'm hoping that we can get back to work on chemotherapy.
Mm-hmm. How will you know when to continue with chemotherapy and to stop chemotherapy?
This is what a so-called death panel looks like.
It's really helping to understand what's important to him, how he views the situation, and it allows us to figure out what specific ways that we can be helpful to him. We try to figure out ways that we can partner together to maintain some sense of hope, and how we hold that hope and also prepare in case things don't go so well.
David is a carpenter, and he needs to buy some time to make one last, very important piece of art.
Because it's the only thing I know well. I can manipulate wood. I can make something out of wood. I can bend it and twist it the way I wanna. And that's probably what I'll end up doing. For my wife, I'll probably take a piece of wood and shape it to the love I have for her. I just want to give her something back that she looks at and she can understand it's me. Which saddens me. Saddens me is I'm gonna miss her. Because there's gonna be so much to build to try to put into this one piece. I'm not even sure what it's gonna be, but I gotta get on it and gotta get it done fast. I gotta get out of here so I can get it done fast.
It was a tough weekend though, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Have you ever had pain that was that difficult before?
Never. When you have the pain, you want to die right now.
Because it's so bad.
Yeah, you just want to die.
Mm-hmm. So it sounds like your sense from Dr. Lee is that the cancer is growing in your belly.
Oh, absolutely.
And he's pretty worried about that. Is that your sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it sounds like when I hear you talk about it, David, that you have a sense that time's not unlimited. That at some point this cancer may take your life. How do you make sense of that day to day? How do you live with knowing that time's shorter than what you'd hope?
Do we have to talk about that this illness may be going in a place where we don't want it to go? Yes, at some point we need to talk about that, but really what we try to focus on is how to help them live as fully as they can.
What else is important for us as your care team to know about that's important for that final phase of your life?
Dr. Jackson keeps asking questions until David finally expresses what he really wants.
In other words, I want to spend time with my wife, make her something that shows how much I love her.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping that your pain is under better control now that we can do that.
Dr. Jackson and David's oncologist agree to offer David a little chemotherapy, not as a cure, but to shrink a tumor just enough to help David live better until he dies.
And that sounds like what's important to you, is to give it a try as long as it's helpful, and if it's not helpful or causing more harm, then you'd be done.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, then forget
Okay.
it. Then we move on
Yeah.
and we find something else.
Yeah.
If there is nothing else, then that's it.
Yeah.
To help David cope with his pain, a surgically implanted device delivers medication to the source. Palliative care doesn't shy from aggressive treatments if they can improve quality of life.
Chemotherapy is one way to help people, but it's not the only way. And I think making sure his symptoms are in good control and he's spending time with Kelly and the rest of his family, I think is critical.
The benefits of palliative care are proven. Dr. Jackson's study of terminal lung cancer patients was published in the New England Journal of Medicine. Those who received palliative care were 50% less depressed, had a higher quality of life, and to everyone's surprise, they actually lived longer. On average, 3 months more than the non-palliative patients.
First I thought, is it really real? Right? And we checked the data and checked the data. Was it really real? We were very pleased to see that palliative care could improve quality of life, lessen depression, and prolong survival.
And I hope when I do die, it's with some kind of dignity.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I really don't want to die in a hospital.
You don't.
No, I'd like to die somewhere besides a hospital.
Where do you think you'd like to be?
Oh, with Kelly, anywhere.
Anywhere as long as you're with her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Are you worried about what that will be like when it's your time?
No. No, I'm not worried about it.
What do you think it'll be like?
If I'm with Kelly, I know I can hold her and she can hold me. It's gonna be okay.
I think that we have a sense of what we think is a good death, right? Somebody who's pain-free, who's able to be as comfortable as they can be, who has family around them, who's been able to do the work and prepare. What I worry about is when people die in ways that are not in keeping with what their wishes are, just because nobody had the conversation. To me, that feels like a real tragedy.
Dying isn't easy, especially when you know it. I know within a few months. So that makes it a little tougher. But I got the right doctors around me. I got the right support. My wife, she's a gem. I come to grips with it. You know, I just feel sorry for people that don't know how to die